Luckily, the next match has started, and lost the die roll, which isn't great, but it's fine. Our opponent, Wadro, is deciding whether to play first or not. I guess he's probably stepped away from his computer and, in the intermediary time between matches, and so we're going to wait for him. Obviously, we would rather be on the play, but it's fine. We have enough ability to win quickly, even on the draw. Turn 3 kills are great. Surprise. So we'll just see what happens. So this hand has a turn 1 accelerant into turn 3 infinite mana, assuming they don't kill anything. A Knight of Autumn if they're some kind of random thing. We have an extra card draw with Horizon Canopy. This hand's great. We're going to go ahead and keep. And just F6 through their turn. We obviously aren't doing anything on turn 0. Okay, so Untapped Mountain has me thinking it's Burn, which is a pretty solid matchup for us. It's not like unlosable, but it's a very good matchup. So we're going to go ahead and if they... Ooh, did not bolt the bird, alright. I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of my upkeep. Okay, we're playing against Runaway Red. So this deck... Sure, Gut Shot. That's annoying, but fine. We still get to go Devoted Druid. So the question here is, would we rather shock or just play the Horizon Canopy? So if we go shock, we're taking 2 damage to play the Devoted Druid. Next turn we can play a tapped land and either one of these, assuming the Devoted Druid survives. If play this, we're taking 1 point now, and then next turn, I don't think it matters. So I'm just going to go ahead and shock, get that out of the way, play the Devoted Druid. And they're going to have a bolt or something, which is annoying, or Faithless Looting into Fiery Temper, or a second Steamkin, sure. Bolt? Yeah, alright. So this matchup is kind of interesting because like they have some big early creatures, which is annoying. And they've got a fair amount of removal, including free removal and Gut Shot. So the question here is, what mode do we want for the Knight of Autumn? So if it's a 4/3, it can block and trade with fully powered Steamkin, but it is much more vulnerable to Bolt. If we gain 4 life, it can chump block, but not trade with anything, which is effectively gaining a little bit more life, but I think I'm going to go with the higher risk, higher reward play and play it as a 4/3 just for the ability to... come on, mouse, work with me. If I can trade with something, it gained us far more than 4 life. So I'm going to go as a 4/3 and just hope that they don't have a second bolt. I mean, they always have a second bolt, but we're going to try and let them not have one. Oh, that's really bad. They're planning on casting a bunch of red spells this turn. Tormenting Voice, sure. So they discarded their risk factor, which has Jumpstart, so they can discard any card in their hand to cast it again. Deal 4 or draw 3. It's... Ooh, yep, there's the extra bolt. Okay, it's good to... So, it's annoying that they did find another bolt, but it's good to know that they do play Fiery Temper, just as something to be aware of. I am just going to always yield to this, because I don't think I have anything this game that matters about their size. So we're going to take minimum of 8 here. Having 2 Runaway Steamkins was really good for them. 6 mana? Oh boy. Yeah, the second Runaway Steamkin was just insane. Triple Tormenting Voice, also insane. Alright, that's pretty good. Faithless Looting, yeah. Flashback Faithless Looting. So they cast what, like 6 spells this turn? A lot. They cast a lot of spells. And they get to cast, like, if they have, they can flashback Faithless Looting or cast anything else. And they also get their Arclight Phoenix back. They're swinging for a minimum of 4/8. Yes, so I don't think we can, like, there's literally nothing we can do here. We're just going to go ahead and concede. Because they were swinging for 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and drawing 3 cards. Like, that's their turn 3 that's just insane. So in this matchup, it's going to be pretty hard to combo. So I'm going to cut, actually, 3 of the Viziers. We're bringing in a bunch of removal against them, so I'm going to side out 2 of the collected companies. What are we bringing in? We're bringing in Abrupt Decays as answers, Path to not Remorseful Cleric, Path to Exiles. 1 mana answers to their spells is really good. I'm fine with Eidolon of Rhetoric. It's not amazing, but it can be a little bit of a speed bump, and it also prevents them from having turns like that where they cast, 15 spells in a turn. Knight of Autumn honestly was pretty lackluster there, but I think that I don't know if they're good enough. We're also going to cut 3 Tireless Trackers because they are just completely too slow for this matchup. Is there another... Oh, Remorseful Cleric accidentally got dragged in here. I mean, I could see a small argument for Remorseful Cleric, and... Actually, no, I do want Remorseful Cleric because they're the Phoenix deck. I completely forgot about the Phoenixes there for a second. I also kind of want Sin Collectors. I don't think we're going the infinite mana combo. That's going to be almost impossible to happen, and, like, casting 4 Finks and 2 Knight of Autumns and, like, drawing our deck and gaining infinite life seems good enough, so I'm going to actually cut the Ballista. Since we aren't really planning on comboing too much, I'm going to cut one of the Duskwatch Recruiters and 1 more card. So I'm thinking maybe an Eternal Witness, maybe a Field. I think I need the Eternal Witnesses in as ways to rebuy the removal. Maybe a Field of Ruin, maybe a Chord, because it's a little slow. Yeah, I'm going to cut a Chord and just submit and see what happens. So this hand is missing any kind of mana accelerant, but otherwise is good. We're on the play. I don't think we can keep this, though. This hand is much better. Alright, we're going to keep this. We're going to put that. It doesn't matter because we're playing our dude turn 1. We're going to fetch. Unfortunately, we need to shock here because we have the Gavany Township instead of another colored source. And if they kill our thing, we still want to be able to have Path as an option. So, okay, Mountain Bolt, sure. I don't care. I mean, I'm just going to cast Bird's Paradise. What are they thinking about? So I'm really not sure what they're waiting on. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I mean, we just have to play the birds. So at this point, if they have another removal spell, it's marginally more annoying because it makes it much harder to cast our Night of Autumn, but they are dismembering a bird. That is... Huh. Okay. Sure. So we drew the land, which is very good for us. I think I'm fine with gaining 4 and chumping here, or forcing a removal spell out, and saving the path in case they draw their Runaway Steamkin. So I'm just going to go ahead and fetch and get a basic forest. I don't think we need... I guess we should have gotten the swamp in case we draw any of our black spells. Same argument, do we make it a big guy or gain 4 life? In this instance, since we have a removal spell, I think I'm fine with just gaining 4 life, you know, kind of buffering that and having a blocker available. Okay. Man, I would love to get rid of this cough. It is not going anywhere. Okay, sure. So they're going to kill our Night of Autumn, smash in for 4, and end with 4 cards in hand. We're pretty far behind. God, Chord is so slow. That's one of the issues with Chord. It's good at finding combo pieces and everything, but it is extremely slow. I'm gonna play this forest and pass. I mean, we're gonna see what happens. But almost certainly we are pathing this Monastery Swiftspear. I don't really know what else we would do. We could Chord for 1 and go get a Mana Dork, get a Viscera Seer, put a Walking Ballista in the graveyard. Eidolon, huh? I think I'm fine with this because we're only getting hit for 1 and I really do not want that Eidolon to stick around. It is a major thorn in our side. I'm going to go ahead and take 2 damage here. Just to get it off the table because I want to be able to cast whatever we draw next turn. Alternately play a land and not cast a spell. So this lets us Chord for 2. Interesting. So there's casting an Arclight Phoenix. So what do we have as 2s in our deck? Do we want to Chord for anything? We could get a Remorseful Cleric and block and nuke their yard, but I think I'd rather just get a Scavenging Ooze into play and be able to potentially start gaining some life. So I think I'm just going to take it here. I don't love being in this position, unsurprisingly. We're going to go get our 3rd basic forest, and hopefully... But definitely not going to survive. It's cord. I hate how small this window is. I wish it would just open up basically like this every time. Let's go get our Scavenging Ooze, which is then going to die immediately, a horrible death. Alternately, it's going to survive. So I think I want to eat things now. In case they had a bolt of some sort. Okay. So how do we want to do this? So the bird is almost definitely blocking the art. Oh yeah, so the bird is blocking the Arclight Phoenix. He's just casting Arclight Phoenix. Sure. I mean, a 3/2 haste is. Ugh. Huh. Okay. So that is almost certainly the game. I'm gonna go ahead and eat. If they have a bolt, we're just dead. Because they just attack. I'll be at 3 life after they attack, because I'm going to gain a life here, gain a life eating that. But if not, I'll end up at 3 life and maybe have a chance. I'm going to eat that other birds. I've got a 5/5, so they can't attack with their Monastery Swift Spear. But, I mean, we're dead next turn anyways unless we draw something crazy here. And that is not it. We can go to 4 life. We can kill the Devoted Druid. Go to 5 life and still just die. Oh, not much. Just losing to Runaway Red. They went game 1. They went turn 2 Steamkin, turn 3 Steamkin combo off, attack for 13 into your now empty board, and then this game they had a bunch of removal early, and then just hard cast their Phoenixes.